Hey everybody, today I'm going to continue with my audio. So last time I successfully got a sound to play, just a 1 second of 8-bit sawtooth audio. I'm not going to play it right now because it was really loud in my headphones and I don't want to even guess what it was like when everybody else is playing it through their speakers. So this part that's playing the sound, I'm going to disable that for now. And so starting off, the first thing I want to do is be able to adjust the volume that I'm playing at. So I think inside of this audio to X audio 2 source voice thing, I would assume that there's some kind of function that'll allow me to adjust the volume at which these sounds are playing. So let's just search for that and see if I am right. So here we got the functions. Stop. I don't see anything. So it also has this, or it inherits from this. So what does this have? Get volume, set volume. Operation set is nothing. So the overall, so I set the volume and I guess that's just always 0. I don't know. Oh, okay, so a volume level 1 means there's no, wait. Okay, so volume level 1 means there's no attenuation or gain, and 0 means silence. So I guess it's 0 between 0 and 1. I don't know, let me just try this here. Let me see. So this also, yeah, it also returns that H result. So let me use my check error function, and we're going to use this P source voice, and we're going to set the volume to something. I'm gonna set it like quarter of the volume. No, actually, what I'm gonna do it like something really ridiculously low. So that I'd rather have it too low than too loud. And then I'll say could not set volume. Okay. I hope this is okay. I'm gonna take out the headphones again and double check. I hope this works. Okay, I didn't hear anything. I don't know if anything even played. Like, I don't know why I recompiled, but oh, actually, okay, I did hear it. I did hear it. It's just really quiet. So okay, so it seems to work. If I crank this up a little bit. Okay, yeah, so that's working. It's very sensitive, I've noticed. So I'm gonna leave it there. Okay, I think that's okay. Um, hope nobody else lost their speakers because of that. Okay, so now I could set the volume. Okay, so I don't want to put that there. What I want to do is try to make it so that it'll only play when I press a key. So I'm going to use the space bar for this test here. So what do I need? I guess here is fine. So if key inputs key space, then oops. But this is going to play every frame that the key is held down, so I don't want to do that. I only want it to play once when the key is pressed. I'm sure there's a more elegant way to do this. I'm gonna, just for testing, make a bool called space down, set it to false. So I'm gonna check if the key is the space key is pressed and not space down. So if the key is pressed and it's not already down, so then I need to immediately set space down equal to true, and then I need to check here, else if not key inputs, key space. So when I let go of the key, as soon as it detects that the key is not down, then I want to set this variable back to true. No, false. There we go. Okay, so that should only play, hopefully, when I press the space key. It worked the first time. Okay, so that's, let's see, let me figure out why. So let's look at the start. After start is called, it has no further effect if called again before stop is called. If multiple calls to start without matching stop. Okay, so I need to call stop first. So what happens, just out of my own curiosity, what if I call stop before I call play? Actually, I probably should look to see what the stop method requires. Oops. So the flags. I don't know, when they don't put any description here, I'll just assume that you can put 0 and then it's fine. I don't know, let's try that, let's see. Okay, so it doesn't error out if you call stop first, so let me try this. Let me try putting stop before I play it every single time. And this should be cannot stop sound. Still not working. Let me see, how is the sound even played? So I load this buffer using submit source buffer. So do I have to resubmit it every time? That's gonna be kind of silly, I think. So I'm gonna load it, stop it. No, let's stop it, load it, and then start it. Okay, so that works. I just feel like it's not the way it's supposed to be done. Oh, sorry, I completely skipped over this. All source buffers that are queued on the voice are current cursor. This allows the voice to continue from where it left off when it is restarted. But I just want to play the whole thing every time. Flush source buffers method can be used to flush queued source buffers. Oh. So I'm going to flush all the buffers before I reload it. And I don't know if this is the way it's supposed to be done, but this is the way I'm going to do it. Flush source buffers that take anything. No. And then this would be cannot flush source buffer. Okay, that's kind of working. I didn't really give it a full test here. Okay, that sound is really getting annoying. Okay, let's see, what can I do? I don't really want to mess with the 3D sound right now, because that's, I don't know, I feel like that's going to be complicated. Let me look at the docs for that. Wait, I bookmarked it, right? I already looked at this. Oh, here we go. So we need a listener, an emitter. I don't know. I don't really feel like messing with all that tonight. Let me, okay, so I got audio added. Let me change this. Let me move it up on the list here. Put it above everything, and I'll say implement 3D audio. And then, so for now, what I think I want to do today for now is the whole point I made this game state and this here is I want to actually export this to its own separate, not executable, but what do you call it? Dynamic library, I think is the proper term. And so that way I can load it on the fly, and that'll be so useful for debugging later. So I probably won't go into the full like trying to update it automatically. I just want to try to see if I can compile it to its own separate file, its own separate library, I guess, for lack of a better term. So I know to do that, it's not going to be static. I need to make it an external C function. So I don't think doing that changes anything really. Yeah, it's all good. But then what I need to do is add some more compiler jargon here. Let me see, I don't remember what exactly it is. I think I could probably figure it out if I had enough time to fiddle with it. Let me see, CL compile to DLL. Yeah, I need this DLL flag here. Yeah, and then so I need to specify what I'm exporting it to using this export thing. And then I feel like it doesn't default to a DLL. I need to specify that it's a DLL. Yeah, then I gotta use this out flag here, I think. Okay, so let me try that. Let me see if I could do this. So let's see, and a new line. So I'm going to say CL, and then this is just Saguinus.cpp. I still want the debug info. So then I need to, after the linker, I need to link DLL. Then export to, I'm exporting the function. Let me just copy it so I know I'm not making any typos here. So I'm exporting it that, and then I want the output file to be I don't know, I'll just call it Saguinus.dll. Maybe, I don't know, that might conflict with something. I'll call it lib Saguinus.dll, so it's a library. Okay, so I don't know if that's going to work. Let's see if I get any errors. I do. Syntax error, int u8, int u8. Okay, so it doesn't know about stuff here. So, okay, I think what I need to do is actually move some of these include files from here to here. Okay, so that looks like it compiled, and I got my libsaguinus.dll. Okay, that's cool. Was not expecting that to go as smoothly as it did. So now let's see if I can pull that function out of that library and execute it. So I need to do this. I don't think I need to do this at any point specifically, just as long as I do it before I actually call the function. So I'm going to do it before I initialize the game state. There's no point to initialize the game state if you can't call the function that operates on the game state. So I don't remember how to do this. I think it's get library or load library. Load library. Load library W, load library EX. Yeah, I guess that's what I need. Okay, so I need a H module. I'll call this DLL pointer. That's equal to load library. Oops. And then I think I just put the name of the DLL, right? Load. And then if the function fails, it'll return null. So let's just check if my DLL pointer is equal to null. If it is, I just want to return. Actually, no, let's do this properly. Let's put a message box and say could not load library. And then I want to exit one, or actually return one. Okay, that seemed like that worked. And then I need to use this guy, get proc address. And that returns a function. Okay, so yeah, okay, so I gotta make a actual function pointer. So my update game state function, so let's just do a type def here. It doesn't return anything. I can call this whatever. I'll call this update game state pointer. Yeah, sure. And then it takes in a game state pointer. And I think that's it. I think that's what I need. And then I can use update game state pointer to make objects of that, or to make pointers to that function, if that makes any sense. So let's call this update. I'll just call it update GS for update game state. And then I'll set it equal to 0. And then let's see, let me move this down here. And then I want, so update GS to equal get proc address. And then I gotta pass in my DLL pointer and then the name of the function, which is update game state. Damn. I'm pretty sure I gotta cast that too. This is the game state pointer. All right, let's see. Oh yeah, I probably should check to see now if update GS is equal to 0, then I basically want to do the same thing I did here. Except for I'm going to say could not. I'll say could not get address to update game state. All right, let's see. Does that work? No. 821. Oh, because I misspelled pointer. Misabbreviated pointer. Okay. It compiled and it ran. So now the ultimate test, can I now use this to update my game state? Ooh. It's working, kind of. My mouse is working, my keyboard. Ooh, space still, the sound still played because I'm doing that here, but not in the game state. So my keys, so this function works. What about my gamepad? Does that work? That still works. kind of, yeah. But the keyboard doesn't work. Whoops, whoops, whoops. Okay, so why doesn't the keyboard work? And I think it's because when I make the game state, it's not aware of these. Because I'm kind of initializing those outside of the scope of the game state when it's compiled separately. That's my theory. I don't know how to fix that. What if I put everything in the game state? This is gonna... Okay, I'm gonna go with this for now. I don't know if this, I was never happy with this in the first place, and I'm still not gonna be happy with it, but this is what I'm gonna do. I'm going to put, okay, so I guess that's what I want to do. I'm going to put all of this in its struct called input codes. Oops. All right, and then so now the game state is going to have a, I'm going to put it here, input codes, what do you call it? Object? I don't know. I never know what to call it. Input codes. I'll call it input codes. Okay, so now this is going to take in a pointer to the game state and then initialize all of the game state's key codes and button codes. All right, so that should be fine. When I call that function, might as well call that here. Okay, that's gonna break a bunch of stuff. So now it doesn't know it's here, but I can also use these, so that's fine. There we go. Okay, so that's that. Doesn't know what key space is. I guess in this case I can just say game state dot input codes dot key space. Hi Natch, I am making a video game. I am still in the very early stages of it, still trying to get the engine going, but having fun in the process nonetheless. What are you up to tonight? All right, still getting a bunch of compile errors. Oh yeah, so I also got to change all of this stuff here. Okay, so now I need to get one of those input states, one input code things. I'll just call it something really short. Just C was fine, I think. Yeah, I've never been into writing tests myself. Okay, so now I can use this to access the individual key codes. And again, this is probably all temporary, but you never know. Everything's temporary till it's not. Okay, and I gotta do the same thing here. Okay, did that work? No, I still got more errors. What is complaining now? So in line 203, oh yeah, I still need to know what that one is as well. Input codes is not a member of game state. What did I call it? Inputs codes, that's stupid. So now I gotta go back and change all this. Okay, there we go. Inputs code still striking again. Yeah, there we go. That should be the last one. That compiles. And it fixed my keyboard, yay. All right, that's good, I like that. Let's see, what's left? Okay, so then on my to-do list, I'm gonna add here, since I got that dynamic code reloading. Work on that next time. I think I wanna do one more thing before I sign out here. I'm really tired of looking at this monkey head. I'm going to now import a new mesh, something a little bit more proprietary, actually a lot more proprietary. I sculpted this model here throughout the week. I think I need to run this separately. Okay, so I just sculpted this character model. It's not perfect by any means, far from it, but at least it will be a good starting point to put into my game, and be probably something different at least to look at. So what I want to do is I want to export this to a OBJ file, because that's the only option Sculptress provides. And I'll just call this character. I'll just put it on the desktop. And I can close that. There it is. All right, so then I'm going to import it into Blender. Import Wavefront OBJ desktop. There it is. Okay, so I'm gonna move it so that it is so like looks like it's standing on the ground, basically, is what I'm trying to get at here. And then I probably want to scale it to, I want the scale of it to be, I don't know, like about 2 meters. So I don't know. I'll worry about that later. I'm not too concerned with that, but I do want to reset everything. So reset all of the transformations. And then this is a lot of polygons. This is 15,000 vertices. I don't need to render that many, at least not now. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to deform this mesh here. Oh, is that how you get the scale? No? Okay, whatever. So I got to go down here, add a decimate modifier. Now later, when I'm actually making the game and making it seriously, I'm going to do like retopography and make it so that the animations look good. But for now, I don't care. I just want low polygons. So I can probably get away with cranking this way down. Now it's starting to look kind of weird. Let me go with 0.03. It's high poly enough just so you could tell what it is. So I'm going to go ahead and apply that. That brought it down to 409 or 79 verts. That's a lot better than the thousands that it was prior. So then I also need to apply the texture, the UV data. So I'm going to do that. Smart project, just, yeah, sure. And I think that's it. I think it's ready to go. So I can use my custom texture exporter. No, sorry, not the texture exporter, the textured mesh exporter. I want to export character, put it directly into my project. I think that's where it went. No, not documents. Desktop. There we go. And I'll just call it character as well. So no errors means that it probably worked. So let's check. Oops. I don't see it there. There it is, character text mesh. So now I can go to my game, and when I'm initializing the game state, instead of loading up Suzanne, let's try to load up character and see what happens. Boom, just like that. It's still got the monkey's mesh on it, so it looks really ridiculous and kind of scary, but it worked at least. Yeah, let me not put that on him. What happens if I just put the default mesh? That looks slightly scarier, I'll admit. Okay, so you know what I'm gonna do is I'm going to change the textured mesh render's default texture. Just something a little bit more friendly to the eye. I'm gonna make it, actually I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna make it completely gray, like either dark gray or light gray, like a checkered pattern for light gray and dark gray. If that makes any sense. Okay, so that should be a little bit more pleasing. And I think pleasing was the wrong word, but it looks more acceptable, I guess. All right, I kind of made some sporadic progress today, but I'm going to go ahead and wrap it up there. I think I did okay. So let's see, git add everything, git commit. What did I do? So I'm not even going to add anything about the sound. I could say I added sound volume. All right, there we go. I think I'm overthinking those. All right, it's done. I'm out of here. See you later.